Hey guys, Plymouth, New Hampshire case study. It's a college town in central New Hampshire. So in this video, I want to show you how we increased the value of a facility within the last 2.5 years by over 30% by some of the strategies that we use here at Patriot. So we bought this facility at the very end of December of 2020. It was a distressed sale where unfortunately one of the owners had cancer and they needed to settle the estate. Through a pre-existing relationship over the years of us prospecting and just cold calling the owners, they did give us the opportunity to buy the facility first because we had a level of trust built. So the facility itself is a 28,000 square foot facility in a college town. It has 234 units and it's on 2.5 acres of land. It sits back from the road, not in a floodplain where there's a lot of other land in a floodplain, but you got some key signage visibility next to some of the bigger retailers in town like grocery stores, hotels, and Walmart. The facility was in bad disrepair. It was not in a good condition, so we were able to get a price of $1.5 million, which at the time was actually pretty high for the condition it was in. Because the owner wanted to continue to receive income payments, they actually owner financed the property with $300,000 as a down payment. Then we would pay 6% interest plus amortizing the loan over 20 years and make those payments to the estate, giving the wife some dependable, steady income so she knew that she could live after the husband passed away. So now we own it, we financed it, now we gotta create value. So the Patriot Property Playbook. So what we did is get good signage and we got a good online presence. This way we can attract quality tenants. Now simple improvements are gonna go a long way. So ideally you wanna pave it, paint it, light it, fence it, put the security cameras out there and give it a presentable landscaping or image from the curb. But not only that, you have to have good management that's gonna pick up the phone and help serve customer needs. Management is key in this process so that you can command higher rents. What we've learned over the last few years is there's been an evolution to the industry where you gotta understand your Google ad campaigns, and now we're able to buy in this market new tenants for a cost of $15 to $25 per click. This is great because in these smaller towns, there's not a lot of potential renters, so meaning it can take a long time to fill up occupancy if you raise your rents too fast and a lot of people move out. But our team captures 40% of all the online leads that drives our facility full of high quality renters, and we sit at now a 94% occupancy versus before it was less than 90% occupancy, but the rates were dramatically lower. So that is the key to adding value is one, you want to increase occupancy, but two, you want to increase rates. So you want to make sure you have the people that are going to pay the highest rents in your facilities and still keep the facility above 90% occupied. So the improvements didn't happen overnight. It's been 2 years and we finally paved the entire facility. It was a mess. We had to dig down and completely excavate all of the dirt and the soils below because it was built on clay, and clay holds water, and then everything was shifting. So the driveway areas were in really bad disrepair. Those are now completely finished. We had to re-side the facility because there was mold on it and there were issues with it looking like it was falling apart. We had to make a lot of improvements on lighting, but now it's a quality facility. So the best part of the deal was after 6 months of owning the asset, making the improvements, and also raising the rents and getting good quality tenants in there, we brought the deal back to our regional bank and they were able to give us conventional financing that then in turn paid off the original seller note, and we were able to get additional improvement dollars to finish the completion of all the repairs. And the best part is the seller kept some of their financing on the asset and continued to receive some payments. So we were into the asset for very little money. We were able to pull all the investor money out within the first 6 months, and that is the ideal scenario that doesn't happen too often, and it was a great lending market, but that really accelerated how fast we were able to add value to investors. To recap, bought the facility 1.5, put $300,000 down, made improvements of $300,000 on top of the facility, but then within 6 months was able to pull back out $300,000 because we were able to pay off our $1.2 million loan. And now the facility rests at $2.1 million as the valuation, and we're going to continue to make improvements to increase the value. And then the last piece of the puzzle is we're looking for land now around the facility to buy and expand one more time. This is an ideal market, and the reason being, and what you want to look for when buying storage, is there's a limited supply of land that is zoned for storage or that's even buildable in this market. So there's only a little area that you can have a storage facility based on zoning and topography, and we have one of those areas that's in the heart of town. So if you look at the demographics, it doesn't have a lot of people, but it doesn't have a lot of usable land, and it has really good quality jobs, good university, and a good community that still needs the product. It's a good location, so if you tack that in there with location, with demographics, with the rents in the area, and with the lack of supply and still a good demand, that creates the formula for success in investing in storage, and that's why we had such a good return on this asset.